Genesis 49 and verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? Okay. So first and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash, that belongs to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations, much love and respect to you, Akim, out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. This lesson is going to be based upon this particular video, but inspired by the Apostle Gabar's video, based upon his title. I used that as well. This is more of a response video to that video, how he leaped, how this Israelite man, this Judite man leaped, okay, on this Edomite woman, okay. So this was all an omen. This was spiritual, okay, because Judah, and you see the way he leaped like a lion on his prey, okay, and that's why I read what I read first, and I'm going to read it again, because Judah literally this Judite leaped like a lion upon this Edomite. And another thing that happened was the flag fell. Okay, so I'm going to play this video for you, and then I'm going to read that scripture one more time. Okay.
But I think it's time that you get a taste of something else, because I just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of state Nevada, this court is...
Stop. Don't do this.
Yeah, please. You hear them pleading for this woman. She was getting destroyed. Okay, she was getting beat up. Okay, on a high level, and you can see he leaped. He leaped like a lion, man. Okay, so that's all spiritual. Okay, these Edomites have had the power to to railroad Jake and put them in jail. Throw away the key and do whatever they want, and they have pleasure in doing that to Jake. They don't want to see Jake get right. And an example of that is this whole the crack epidemic. You had the crack epidemic in the 80s, and what did Esau say? Esau said, let's lock them up. Joe Biden and Bill Clinton was a part of having Jake locked up excessively for having a certain amount of crack cocaine, while when you had cocaine itself, which was known as a rich man's drug, compared to crack cocaine, a poor man's drug, which means it was Israelites mostly doing the crack because it was cheap, they would lock you up for a lot more for the crack than they do even now for the cocaine. So that's an example of Esau railroading Jake, and they have the power to do so. But the Lord is about to put a fiery spirit in Jake. You see that he was getting all them punches, and those punches were basically almost not effective on him. They weren't able to stop him with all the different men they had there to try to stop him. Okay, the Lord is going to turn up the spirit in Jake. Okay, this is Genesis 49 and verse 8 again. It says, Judah, meaning Yahweh in the Hebrew. Yahweh means thanks. Thank Yahweh. Okay. Thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Who's our enemies? Our enemies are the Edomites, starting with the Edomites and the other nations. Okay. And that person that he leaped upon looked to be an Edomite. Okay. it says, thy father's children shall bow down before thee. And who's his father? The father's children? That's speaking about the other tribes. Okay, the rest of the tribes, because Judah is the head tribe. Okay, Judah is also the most trodden down tribe, most talked against tribe. But guess what? They're going to be the most exalted tribe. Yahweh Shai comes from the line of Judah. Okay, the Lord comes from the line of Judah. Okay, Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. Who's the prey? The enemies, starting with the Edomites. And we could prove that in Psalms, the 83rd chapter. Okay, he stooped down, he couched as a lion, and as an old lion. Meaning what? They were not in that fighting spirit. They haven't been in that fighting spirit for many, many years, man. Many decades, man. Judah has not been in that fighting spirit. Okay, there's a saying that says we went in fighting and we came out with jobs. Okay, because Esau appeased you by giving you these little trinkets in the society. These little jobs, benefits and different things to try to appease you, try to sedate you, as like when you give a zoo animal tranquilizer, man, a tranquilizer gun or tranquilizing medicines or whatever to keep them sedated. That's what they've done to you Judites. But the Lord is going to turn you up. Okay, he's going to surpass their sedation. Okay, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? Now we're at the time where the Lord is going to rouse them up. Let's look up this word, rouse. Okay, rouse up. Oh, that's it. Quam. Quam. We know what quam means rise, right? To rise, arise, stand, rise. So when we say Quam Yasharallah, that means rise Israel. Okay, so this is speaking about arising. Okay, arise in a hostile sense. So Jake is going to stand up or arise in a hostile sense. They're no longer going to be walking around with the picket signs talking about we shall overcome and holding hands, like the modern day churchgoers. No, they're going to be in a very violent spirit. Okay. To arise, come on the scene, to stand, to maintain oneself, to be established, be confirmed, to stand, endure. And he was enduring those punches. He was standing so firmly that he was enduring those punches, and it was like nothing to him. And I'm always reminded of that one time years ago, man, when I was in high school, right? Just coming in high school, I remember there was this video of this Jake that got shot like 100 times, and he was still attacking the cop. The cop shot the Jake 100 times, and the Lord kept his spirit in his body, and he was still attacking the cop. That was horrifying for that cop. That cop's like, what the hell is wrong with this? Is this guy a zombie? Why the hell is he not dying? He didn't even fall. He just kept coming through the shots. And the Lord can do that. The Lord can keep your spirit in your body if he wants to, man. Right? So a lot of these Edomites, they think because they go to the shooting range, they have all these different rifles and automatics and handguns, that they're safe. No, the Lord is going to turn up the spirit, and you might be shooting, you so-called white people, you might be shooting a so-called black man or a group of so-called black men, and they might be running through the bullets. Okay, because the Lord is going to turn up the spirit, man. Okay, to stand, endure, to be fixed, and he was fixed upon that woman, which was his prey. Okay, to be valid, to be proven, to be fulfilled, to persist, to be set, to be fixed, to confirm, ratify, establish, impose. Okay, so you get the point, man. To abide, accomplish. Okay, so anyways, that's the point. Okay, so Judah is going to rise up. Okay, he's going to stand. He's going to be firm in that time, and he's going to rise up with hostility, with violence. Okay, and just to prove who our enemies are, let's go to Psalms, the 83rd chapter. And I believe the brother GMS in his likeness posted a scripture that I was going to get anyway, so I'll probably just go to him if he posted the whole scripture. Read that. This is Psalms 83. In verse 1, it says, keep not thou silence, O power. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. Now I was going to tell you who has done this. Who is the enemies? Who has taken crafty counsel against the people of the Most High? Which that man that was leaping, he's one of the people of the Most High. It says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel shall be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. You have something called the prison complex, the prison industrial complex, which, you know, they make billions and billions of dollars off of. And this is why it's profitable for them to pack up the jails. And they pack up the jails with who? With you Israelites, with you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Okay, this is what they do. This is what, and this has been proven. Okay, and what did they promote alongside privatizing the prison system? What did they promote to you, Jakes, as a culture? Gangster rap music, gangs. Started in LA and they promoted it more through the music. That's why even up here in Canada, you got people who are Crips and Bloods. Even when I grew up, people were Crips and Bloods. I was around it. People were dying based upon that. People were shooting each other, stabbing each other based upon that all the way around the world because of this culture that has been pushed through their media. Okay? So Esau has done all this on purpose to what? To make sure that he basically casts you down from your excellency. Okay? It says the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites. So it started with who? The tabernacles of Edom, the Edomites, so-called white people. Okay, and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines, and she might be an Amalekite. Apostle Gabar mentioned that because she had a German last name. The Philistines, and she does look like an Amalekite. She looks like Drake's mother. Drake's mother is a straight up Amalekite, and she looks just like Drake's mother, to be honest. Okay, it says the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, Assur, also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Alat Salah. Okay, so that's going into the heathens. Now, let's go into this. This is Micah 5 and verse 8. Okay, and it's from GMS in his likeness, Shalom Ak. It says, and the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles in the midst of many people, as a lion among the beasts of the forest, as a young lion among the flocks of sheep, who if he go through both treadeth down and teareth in pieces, and none can deliver. Yeah, because the Lord is going to put a spirit on Jake. The Lord is going to put a spirit on them to go through the heathen, just like in the Rodney King riots. They were going after the Moabites. That was the spirit. They went after the Moabites and the Edomites. They understood Moab had nothing to do with them. Okay, but guess who joined up? The so-called blacks and the so-called Mexicans. They were beefing all that time. They didn't mess with each other. All that time they were like, they were kind of distant. But when the Lord put that spirit on them to come against the enemies, they came right back together. And the same thing is going to happen. Okay, it says, thine hand shall be lifted up upon thine adversaries, and all thine enemies shall be cut off. Point blank, period, man. Let's get let's get Isaiah the 19th chapter. Okay, this is Isaiah 19. And I'll start at verse. I'll start at verse 15. It says, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. So ain't going to be no managers, ain't going to be no regular employees. You know, it's going to be a lack of jobs. Okay, in Egypt, which represents not ancient Egypt, but America. Okay, the joblessness is going to increase heavily. Okay, They don't need you people now. They got AI. They got AI. They got those different. They got robots to do things. Okay, they don't need you people. Okay, and they're trying to set you people up to be completely dependent on them anyway, right? Through what? Through the UBI, which is going to be based upon the CBDC, which is going to be turned into what? It's going to be turned into the chip. It's going to go right into the chip. Okay. It says, in that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of Yahweh of hosts, which he shaketh over it. So the men and women are gonna be completely terrified when the Lord brings these judgments through. Okay, when he starts to shake this place up for real. And hey, we've been saying 2024 is gonna be a heavy year, so there's gonna be a lot of shaking, man, going on. Okay. All right, and these people are going to be in fear, and they're going to be in complete how do you say that, desperation, okay, for what's getting ready to come. And who's going to suffer the most? The poor. Okay, well, really, who's going to suffer first? The poor, I should say. Okay, they're going to suffer first. Okay, and the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. So them Judahites that's in the hood and in the ghettos and the inner cities, they're gonna be a terror unto you Edomites, man. Okay, and you other nations. Everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself, man, because of the counsel of Yahweh of hosts, which he hath determined against it. Let's go to the word terror. Haggah, all right, which says terror, a reeling. Okay, let's compare. Fear, okay. They use this word reeling. I haven't heard this word reeling before. Let's define this word reeling. It says wind a line onto a reel by turning the reel, lose one's balance and stagger or lurch. Okay. Go to the root. It says to hold a feast. Okay, no. Okay, so fear. Okay. Simple and plain. So let's go to Amos. (9) and verse 13. This is Amos 9. In verse 13 it says, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper. Now the plowman is those that are in the working class, man. And who's mostly in the working class is you Israelites, okay? A lot of Edomites too, because they're going to rise up as well. But the Lord specifically says that Judah is going to be a terror to Egypt, because there's going to be a time where Judah, and that's what we're focused on anyway. There's going to be a time where Judah is going to have a spirit put in them by the Heavenly Father that's going to make them basically like, I want to say not like superheroes, but they're gonna have a very vengeful, mighty spirit on them, man. Okay, and the treader of grapes, him that soweth seed in the mountains, shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. Okay, first of all, do you see where that person leaped from? Where that man leaped from? He leaped over that. You know how high that is? What he leaped from? Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this. Okay, that was not no short leap. That was a tall, that podium or whatever that she's on is high as hell. That's a high podium, man. You see what I'm saying? When Jake has that high adrenaline rush and the Lord puts a spirit on, that's what I mean when I say they're gonna be like superheroes, man.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that he gets a taste of something else, because I just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of state of Nevada, this court.
You see that? You see that leap? Look at the leap. Look at the leap. She didn't think he could reach her. She didn't think so. I believe I can fly. Ooh. I believe I can touch the sky. Think about it every night and day. Run this again. Spread my wings and fly. Bow. Yo, man, Jake. Hey, man, wait till the Most High turns these Jakes up, bro. It's gonna be bad, man. It's gonna be very, very bad for you Edomites. I'm telling you that right now. Man. You know, so everything that we've been saying, man, it's gonna come to pass because it's in the scriptures. Okay. Yeah, he flew far, bro. You know, I seen a Jake one time out of fear jump, like take one leap over a tall, super tall fence. I mean, the fence was like 3 times a man. Like it was a tall wall. And he took one step and leaped over from fear. And I was like, wow. Okay. It says, behold, I'll read that again. It says, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes him that sows seed. And the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. Okay, so you can liken that unto these CEOs of these companies, these business owners. You know, they could be the ones that are reaping. Okay, and Jake is the ones that's working under them, the lower people in that company. Okay, that's going to rise up against them. You don't see how Amazon just fired all these different people and they didn't care. And these people were very distraught. Right. So it's going to come to a point that, you know, they're not going to stand for this anymore. Okay. Let's go to Zechariah 9 and verse 12 or 13. Let's see right here. Yeah, start at verse 13. It says, when I have bent Judah for me and filled the bow with Ephraim and raised up thy sons, O Zion. Who's Zion? The sons of Zion? This the 12 tribes, right? So-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the scattering around the earth against thy sons, O Greece. What does the O Greece represent? That represents the Edomites. Okay, he's just referring to them as Greeks here, speaking about the Edomites. Okay, it's a code. Okay, just like when you read Joel the 3rd chapter, it says that we were sold unto the Grecians. Okay, we were sold into the Greeks. Grecians are another way of saying Greeks. Okay, which is really a code word for the Edomites. We were sold by the Hamites and the Ishmaelites and even other wicked Jakes to the Edomites, and made thee as the sword of a mighty man. And Yahweh shall be seen over them, and his arrows shall go forth as lightning, and the Lord power shall blow the trumpet, and shall go with the whirlwinds of the south. Okay, so the Lord is going to turn things up when it comes to his people, man. So Jake is not going to be in that simple-minded spirit any longer. Jake is going to actually rise up against their enemies. And the scriptures speak about one race fighting against another race. That's in Matthew's 24 and 7, and also it's in the Apocrypha in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. Okay, this is Matthew's 24 and 7. It says, matter of fact, I'll start at 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So this is Yahweh Shai speaking, right? It's in red. For nation shall rise against nation. And who's causing that? The Lord, Yahweh Shai. Okay. Kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. So part of that, the beginning of the woes. Okay. Matter of fact, all these are the beginning of sorrows. All these are all the beginnings of these sorrows. Part of it is the race wars. Part of it is the race wars, the class wars, the nations rising up against the kingdoms rising up against other kingdoms, which we know is going to be Russia, okay, Gog and Magog against with their allies against Babylon the Great, okay, and their allies for a time period. All right, we know that. So guess what? This is all prophecy. So this is all that them Israelites rising up against the Edomites. That's part of prophecy. And there's nothing Esau can do. Esau can cry all he wants. Oh, that was the past. And we don't need to hear about the victim mentality. Jake is not trying to hear that shit. Okay. And Jake, the Lord is going to turn Jake up, point blank, period. So Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect, and I'll say shalom.